Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Wrenching Irons. Today is a garage video. I am going to finally start on taking the engine apart. But my little ute didn't pass warrant. So because there is too much rust everywhere and all that stuff, and lights weren't working, that wasn't working, doors were loose and hinges were loose, so I'm fixing everything. And as I was scraping the paint, there is lots of holes which people before just bogged out, but as the moisture come from underneath, it kept rusting and then bubble up the paint. So I have cleaned it, polished it, and I need to patch it up somehow, and so I decided I'm gonna try welding it. So I did what everybody does these days, Google the shit out of it. So I watched videos, I read articles about TIG setup and all that stuff, and how to weld sheet metal, what amps we do. So I have scored, I went to the local shop called True Weld engineering shop, and the guys hooked me up with some sheet metal, just mild steel. So I think this is let's see if I can sand it off a little bit, but I cut a hole with a grinder, and I'm gonna set up my TIG, see if I can patch the hole up. And before I go loose on the ute, I don't wanna do more damage than it already is, and hopefully we'll be able to weld those holes shut and sand it. I don't particularly care if it's not perfectly smooth. I'm not gonna be bogging it out and smoothing it out. I just don't wanna rust. But before we go ahead, we have one very important thing to do, as it is New Year and we are setting up a new standard. We are coming to dad jokes of this episode. Oh, I pulled 2 cards, not good enough. Okay, here we go. What does a house wear? A dress. It took me a second for me to, like, what? A dress? A dress? Oh yeah, fuck. Oh, okay, never mind. If you see myself being entertained by that, then hey, that's my lack of English and my brain sticking over trying to figure out what the hell they are about. You guys saw my air intake, so I haven't done much work on it more, and I have decided I was gonna put a SNS carburetor on this, but at the end I have decided to go with the stock ones. The SNS air intake is way larger compared to the regular ones, so I thought if I cut a hole bigger, then I won't be able to go smaller. And I don't know what I will save the SNS carb for, but this engine ran on the old carb, so I might just go with that. I don't know. And if I feel like I want to put the SNS, I can always drill the hole bigger, maybe somehow. I don't know. There was a bit of trial and error, but I don't know if you remember how big the holes were here, how rusted. There is still little holes here and there, which I will get to. There is more metal there. I still have to patch. There is another hole there, but that was like big open cavity. So we're getting there. I just keep working at it. It's just that my firstly I ran out of wagon, ran out of gas, and also my collet, my 2.4, what is it, 2.4 millimeter collet broke down. So I did put in a 1.6 because I don't have a 2.4. I don't really like welding with 1.6, but well, because I suck at it. But yeah, as soon as I put a 1.6 in, try to patch up the last of the holes. Yeah, no more gas. So I'll have to Google where I can get some, and if they're still open, because it's Friday afternoon. I don't know if I can get there, otherwise it'll have to wait till Monday. Finally, I got an hour 45 minutes to start on an engine. We have this. So I have decided that I'm gonna try to keep the heads together because I have rebuilt the tops, the valves, everything is seated with fresh gaskets and all that. So the first step is take the push rods out, the oil tubes, and then we unbolt everything at the base and hopefully pull the heads off nice and easy, so I don't have to rebuild them, and then when I put them together hopefully it's gonna be easy enough to slip the pistons back in. We shall see. If not, I'll have to take it apart and do it bit by bit. Well, with these old engines you can pretty much do everything with 3 sizes. All you need is a 7/16, half an inch, and 9/16, and then everything goes. And I just thought, shit, I'm trying to undo all of this stuff. I better put her in a 4th gear, and I'm gonna use the wrench hopefully, and well, the wrench doesn't open far enough. Okay, it doesn't work. This thing can go out. Might as well do it right and use a proper socket, shouldn't I? What size is this? Not that one. Let's try this one. Yeah, this would work. And what drive is it? 1/4 inch. Cool. So yeah, let's do it proper rather than random wrenches. Don't fall, engine. Cool. Much easier this way. Don't forget to bag everything and sign it, write all the marks and everything, clean it up as you go. So when the assembly comes together you have it all together, you know what's going on and where, and that it's all cleaned up so you can just slap it on without too much worry. Make sure you take all the oil seals from the tops and from the bottom so you don't lose them. So I have everything down here in this little baggie when it comes to push rods and our oil distribution. So this gets bagged up. I might actually, sometimes I even pour, because I don't know how long it is going to be there. So what I do is I have a little bit of oil, engine oil, fresh engine oil, and I just slap it in there. So yeah, it gets a bit messy and the bags are probably of not a good use afterwards, but this way there is just less moisture and everything sits in an oil basket to keep together. So you know, also especially we are here in the Northland and it's freaking humid and you don't want to get stuff rusting. Oh, random thing, my youth light bulb was dead, so I took a light bulb out, and funnily enough, do you know where it was made? In Slovakia, out of all places. So I just wanted to share that with you. Okay, did I show you? My guitar fell down and then this broke up here, so I glued it together and put 4 bolts and screws in there, and I'm just hoping that it's gonna hold tune. So just fixing shit, always fixing something. Never mind, next part, let's get off our cam cover and see where we at there. Bolts are out, they are all nicely in my template. You can see them all sticking out, so they'll be fine. I generally staple it somewhere to the wall, so it's not in my way, so I'll probably staple it somewhere underneath my bench so they can live there safely. And I thought we need to undo our timing plate and the points. You see how precarious it is mounted, poor engine is just wobbling. So feel like I work so much on these engines that I should maybe invest or build some cradle for it, shouldn't I? Some kind of engine bay. Cool. So this is our points. We'll just undo these fillers. I found this in the dump and didn't have an end, so I 3D printed a little ball. So I just jammed it there, so you don't have a sharp aluminium edge because it was hollow. So that's a nice little screwdriver, and a shitload of these tips is quite handy. So I often use this biggest one. It's quite good for getting into the point screws. Fun fact, 1979, this is what this engine is, was the first Harley-Davidson Sportster with electronic timing. And some lovely soil ditched the electronic timing and put points in. I prefer points because I feel they are, yes, they require more work, but they are easier to set up. The only bike what doesn't have points is the red one, and she's the harder to start. But then also it's the XLCH, maybe the hot cams and all the stuff is harder to set up the valve. If she's perfect, if the valves are set right, push rods and everything is all to perfection set up, she starts like a dream. But then as soon as the push rods are not adjusted and the valves are not working right, then you won't start her that easy and you kick her for freaking ages. But somehow with the points, maybe it's a points, you can tell me in the comments, what do you think? Is the red one harder to start because it is XLCH, and the hot cams because they are square and the valves open close position is way more tricky to organize, and before they open and close it's much of a less time before one valve closes and one valve open. Or these XLH engines are, well, is XLH engine easier to start than XLCH? I'm interested to know. Or it is points versus electronic timing. So write in the comment what you guys think. This thing gonna go all the way to the coil. And here is our drive. And here is our weights, our advanced weights. Also on my XLCH, these springs get so chewed up. I don't know why. She's so powerful. Cool. So this is all our timing paraphernalia done and ziplocked. You don't want to oil this because of course it's electronic, but here we go. That goes on the table. And now to the rubber mallet. And get us open. Don't fall. Aye. The bushing came out of, I don't even know. Aye, I don't fall apart. Stay. Bushing came out of here. So you can sit there and we gently, so slowly take everything out. All these shims, everything has to be put in the right sequence and also right angles and directions because they have a different bevels. What I'm talking about is this thing. Don't you fall on me? So let's clean everything up and bag it. Let's get rid of these hoses. Our oil pump at the bottom. They are pretty damn stiff too. It's a big oil pump, eh? Way bigger than my 1970 and 72. They were tiny oil pumps. Okay, it's rubbish. We re-hose everything. Come on, baby. And a little breather. It's been an hour. I'm call it quits for today. Time to cook some dinner. But we have removed push rods. The lifters are there. I don't know if I'm gonna take them out. I'm thinking of trying to keep on whatever I can. So I don't have to faff about with it too much. I just clean everything up as it goes. I have taken out the starter motor, solenoid, all the bits in here. The thrust washer, what goes in there in the hole, is pretty mounted and worn out. I will definitely need to replace that. I can't take this bolt in. That's 24 millimeter, what my thing says. So I looked at my fancy little chart over here, and 24, it's either 15/16 or it is these other random numbers, 61, 64 or 31, 34. I think maybe 15/16 might be the thing, but none of the sockets I have are deep and I can't fit anything in there, and I tried to undo it with just a wrench, doesn't go. I think I need a little these my favorite little tool hiding over here. That's a beauty. Takes everything apart. We have another day. I have popped to the store and I bought a deep socket. It is 15/16 and let's have a look at the ghost. And it fits perfect. So it was 15/16. I believe that this nut holding the wheels for drive, the oil pump drive, is left-handed. So turning clockwise, you are loosening it up, and you see how everything moving. So I'll just put it into the compressor and give it a little tag and it should move. So we have a progress, and in the meantime, in the morning, I just been welding a storm. So I don't know if you remember, there were big holes in here. So they are all gone. Welded that shut. There were holes. It's not perfect, don't judge me. Shut up. There was a big hole there, I welded that. And the same on the other side. I'm just gonna put some bog on it. Yes, it's pitted, it's not perfect smooth. I already put a bog on the top, on the fronts here, but should be better than nothing. I couldn't be bothered to run a compressor, so I put it into our little one. So let's see. Yeah, we want to clockwise. No. Whoa. Nothing. Maybe we need the big guns. Compressors ready. Big guns ready. You're gonna love that sound, eh? Yeah. Alright. Let's see if we can get the nut loose. She doesn't want to go. Not at all. No wonder we are in the right way. I don't know. Try the other way. I was wrong. I read about this nut online, and they say it's a left thread nut, and it's bullshit. Because look, I have undone it. So it's a proper regular nut. So our pinion shaft is now empty. I wonder on a 1970 and 1972 there was a tiny little window down here on the base of the oil pump. Tiny little window, and the main drive for the oil pump had a little oil hole, and they had to be lined up before you could put the worm gear in. This one doesn't seem to have that, so I'll have to do a proper research about how to assemble this stuff together, because yeah, it's all different. I am not used to that at all. And also look at that, it looks like previous person blew up the case, blew up the transmission. This is all welded together. So that's an interesting thing. Well, this engine seen life before. So yeah, okay, that's a bit of a progress. Usually these drives are so pressed in that you have to extract them. That's I think why there is a little lip here. Also, I think it gives you a clearance on the drive from the oil pump. I would say that's why this reset is there. But also you can grab your puller onto those teeth when you grab it out, which we didn't have to do today. So that was easy. I'm gonna bake those gears. If you want to know another trick about working on engines, I have a random collection of little rods. I have a little square drive, little square, that's about 10 by 10. I have a piece of stainless, that's 10 mil. I have a shorter, this is probably 14. I have a little narrow one, and then I have a weird thing which I didn't use before. But all these bars are really handy. For example, when you have a little washer what you bend over, I don't really like straightening it up with a screwdriver, so I just use this to flatten everything out. And then the round ones you can put into whatever holes if you need to you know, hammer something out. So that's kind of a little trick what I do. Always have these little bars and square or round to help out. And I decided that since I still have a big girl out, I might take the nut off here with my as well, because it's gonna be a tough one. There we go. Hey, man, the washer seen better days. Here is our nut from the drive, and I might have to use a puller. Maybe. One moment. Come on, baby, light my fire. Is it gonna halt? Just needed a little gentle persuasion by the looks of it. Nothing too drastic. There we go. And that's our sprocket. 21 teeth. 21 was right. Cool. We got that. We put it together. And I might keep, I don't know, I might clean this up and this is an oil seal, I think, in here in this area that goes into the transmission. So we shall see if I need to remove this. Not in a hurry right now. This was the best buy ever, the pneumatic driver, and takes everything apart. I'm gonna get myself set up on this side, and I'm gonna take the primary of me things. Very interesting on this primary. Usually you have the Allen bolts going around the block, but when you look at here is a big hex nut over there, and it's quite a large bolt, and there is this weird bolt sticking out from underneath. What the hell is that? Maybe I should crank up a manual to see what they are for, because that's not very usual. So I don't know, and I'm not sure if I have to take out that nut. I think that's a clutch adjustment. Yeah, so maybe a bit of study before we go ahead. I have two manuals. This one is 1978, doesn't really work. And we have this one, Climber, doesn't have anything in there. I might see if I can find younger manual and get it printed too. If this one from Harley finishes at 78, so I bet this 79 motor is a bit different. I'm gonna just wing it. All our bolts are out, and the hex nut was just there. So that's off too. We leave that. I see if I can take this apart. Do I need to? Or should I just give it a hammer and see if it pops off? Might give it a little tap. If it comes off, comes off. If it doesn't. The rubber mallet. Let's see. Whoop. Freaks me out every time. Oh, don't slip. I should give it something to sit on, eh? And she doesn't want to come off. Something's holding her. Might be that bolt. I'm just gonna figure out what to put underneath here so she doesn't fall on me. Should I use a baby girl? Now let's see. Here we go. Thank you, my baby girl. Yeah. Okay, I'll deal with this later. That's not coming apart. Okay, so that's our clutch adjustment. I don't know if that should interfere with the clutch cover. To be totally honest, she should be able to pull out. Why she doesn't want to come, I don't know. Okay, this backside is loose. It's this front what's holding us. Okay, there's a washer. That definitely won't help. Holding us there. Oi! Stop being difficult, engine. What is holding us? What is holding us? Da, 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 da. Let the clutch cable go. Come on, baby, light my fire. I know you want to come out. Why are you being so difficult? What am I missing? What am I missing? Dribbling oil, that's okay. And last thing you want to do is to put anything in there and pry it out. It should not be so difficult. I'm going to take that knot off for the oil, and hopefully we can get a bit of a purchase to hold it. Okay. Just need to find something somewhere along the line. I actually had a proper tool for it, but I don't know where it is. Somewhere over the rainbow. Tidy up a little bit. Oh no! Oil spill! Yikes! But there is another plastic washer reel tied in there. So maybe that's the mischief holding us back. But so much oil! No! Okay, I took that plastic washer off. Let's see if we're gonna have more luck taking this off. Potentially, there's more movement. Here we go. Such a little thing, eh? Tiny little plastic washer holding everything together. One thing you remember, you shall not force anything. If you have to force shit, you break stuff. So take your time, take it easy, look around, take the engine upside down, mind the oil spill, whatever you want. You know, you can clean it up. But don't you go with the fucking hammers at this. Let me tell you a story. When I worked on my Yamaha XV750, I always had a problem with a clutch, with the starter actually. The travel for the helicoil, not helicoil. It was like a spiral drive, throwing out a little sprocket which engaged into your flywheel. They always had problems with it. It was crunching, it was not engaging right. Well, anyway, I took it all apart. I had about 12 bolts, and when I was putting everything together, I have stripped 7 out of 12 until I realized that problem is me. And I was too powerful, you know, throwing these aluminium things. Oh, I can tighten it up harder. Boom, 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 stripped all the freaking threads. So don't do dumb stuff like I do, okay? Take your time, explore, pay attention, and notice shit. There will be a reason why stuff doesn't come apart. Famous last words. Hopefully I don't do more mistakes. It's pretty interesting to look at the engine and see what difference is between the years. So the clutch is absolutely different. The primer is so floppy and loose. The adjustment is very, very different. I don't even know how you adjust the slack. I don't know, we'll have to figure that out. I think to put the clutch plate in, you have to compress it in, so there is a very specific tool for doing this. So I guess we'll be manufacturing something along the line to be able to compress the clutch plate down. And the clutch adjustment and clutch cable is on the right side, so I'll have to have a little look on how to do this. And also I'll be making my own clutch cable, so all of this will be redundant. So I think this clutch cover will go on right at the end, because I don't know how long cable I'll have to make, and if we have to thread it and put it through, then obviously that's going to be I can't put it together and then find out, holy shit, I need the different stuff. This is our shaft for changing gears, and this was, I believe, the foot peg mount, which goes all the way to the insides, and there is a rubber washer to like a seal to stop leaking oil from the shaft outside. Well, I have been working tattooing last 2 days, and we have ourselves a situation. There is a red notice or whatever they call it here. It's just passing down last 2 days non-stop, like 20 millimeters to 40 millimeters an hour. Look at it, you can't see shit. Usually you can see the hills and trees, but it's just pouring all the time. And got a leak. Look, it's freaking pouring hard. Dribbling. I cleaned up that little hole in there, and the water pours straight from the hill into the gutter, and it goes out that way somewhere. But my wood box is all wet. All of these boxes are wet. Well, it'll dry off or whatever. Look, I have a drip in there in a little thing, and I have a bucket here because my roof leaks. And what else is, this is wet now. Another drip from up top. Yeah, it should still rain till end of the night, till midnight or 1 in the morning, and then it stops. So I've seen this worse, so that's doing kind of okay. But I just thought I'll show you what weather up here in Northland can be with these heavy rains. It's another day. I'm tired. We were up quite late. The rain stopped. It's clear out there ish. Supposed to be showers on and off, but yeah, I'm quite glad that the channel worked. So yeah, draw the water all the way to the left side. You could see how much water came out from that side. The plastic didn't do bugger all. Behind this, because I see holes, all the water was just pouring down from there, down around, but it'll dry off, and the rest of the garage is dry. Yeah, we collected a bit of water in a bucket from the holes in the roof, but it could have been worse. I have a massive hole dug up behind, and then on Monday they were supposed to deliver a water tank, but supposedly my tank has been damaged, so they postponed it to today, just Thursday. And in last 2 days we had the crazy storm, so the hole's okay. There is a bit of stuff fallen down into it, so I have to go there with a shovel after work today before they bring the tank in. So mission, eh? But I think in the crazy rain we fared really well. It's not raining. I open the doors and everything to dry it out because the concrete is still sodden and there is still moisture. But I've been working on a ute. First time I have cracked into this little spray gun. I have the big ones up there, but this little touch-up one was cool, and I gave the ute a coat. I should sand it really, but all of the little welds and fixie-uppy is not perfect. I don't really care. I could have smoothed this harder, but it's now painted nice sparkly blue, floors painted black, so hopefully she will pass the warrant. Clean up and then we go back to the engine. Hello there. It's a bit warm today. Ute's out. After I finished doing everything, I realized I forgot to weld one hole, which is right on the bottom on the chassis. Damn it. So I'll get to it later. But I got some manuals printed. I found this, it was called Milwaukee Magic. It's all about Sportsters from 70 to 2000, some younger ones and all the stuff. So we have that, and then also 1979 to 1982. and this is a pretty good copy. Manuals are always worth it. And I'm going to take the clutch off, and I thought I am going to make a tool to compress the clutch plate, and then I just thought, oh, let's see what I have with my tools. And look, I got this little puller which just clips right on the basket, and it holds quite well. So I'll just use that and take the clutch basket out, and or clutch hub, whatever you want to call it. It is a basket case. All the little nutties are off, and the plate is compressed. This holds quite well, so time to release it and get all the little bits out in a way I remember, hopefully. That worked really well. I thought I will have to figure out some kind of crazy contraption, because usually you have like a big flat bar which bolts into that hole and bolts into that hole, and with the little spacers, and then you have a compression what goes in there. But yeah, nice little thing, worked magic. So we good. Just get all the bits out, pull all the clutch out. Seems like there is some kind of retainer springs which we'll have to remove. Get all the discs out, and then I'll start the compressor and get my big Bertha, or how should we call her, big tool to take the nut off. Manual confirmed it. There is a little retaining clip which we have to extract. There it is. Nice little ring that goes into our basket, and supposedly there is 9 rings or something. Okay, I might as well just take the whole thing out as is, intact, so I don't have to faff about. You see, I don't know how, if you can see how mounted that washer is. A little foldy washer. Get my handy little square, little pump. So this nut is pretty large. I have this big, this is 38mm socket, and it's perfect fit. So except it's just a, this is a 1/2 inch drive, 3/4 inch drive. I need this little thing, which I kind of prepared earlier. It goes from a, what is it, 1/2 inch to 3/4, I don't know, your silly little imperial sizes. Now, is this a left nut or is it the right nut? Let's see. Let's stick with the left. It is left driven nut. Well, what I'm talking, right driven nut, so anti-clockwise comes off. Cool, that goes in our bag. A little crash washer, not crash washer, what is this? A little lock tab. Come out, baby. This one has a proper little grooves to go into the grooves in the shaft. I don't know if I'm gonna be reusing this. Hopefully I have a spare, otherwise I have to order. Pretty much all the bloody washers have to come out. One thing what's really awesome on this pneumatic big girl is that you saw that I didn't even stop this from moving, and this baby undo the nut, so you know, that's bloody brilliant. Now let's see if this little fella will fit under. Will it? You don't need any tools, you just jiggle. Come on. Here we go. And there is our drive. Cool, we'll give it a clean and polish. And now this will come out, except we need to undo the primary side, the engine side nut, and all of this come out together. So this little big nut from the engine side, again, is just normal thread, it's no backwards. Was a bit of a mission to take off, but it's out. I should put it away, and everything should come out. No. Now here is something I don't understand, if you can guys help me out with this. So this is your chain tensioner, and it's on this ball that sticks out, and there is a little piece of sheet metal which acts like a spring. But the way it's tensioned is that it actually holds this whole trolley, or whatever you want to call it, hard against the case, not the other way around. Like to lift it, you have to put pressure against the spring to lift this up. So my question is, what is even a point of this? Because it makes absolutely no difference. Shouldn't the spring be tensioned the other way, that the little trolley, the slider's natural position should be lifted up, pressing on the chain all the time? Because in my head it makes absolutely no sense, because it never does anything, it just sits there. If you write in a comment, what do I not understand? Sometimes, as it happens, all you have to do is to read, and this is why I got those manuals, didn't I? So I have discovered now, which page was it? Here it reads all about the chain adjuster. So interestingly enough, there is this funky little nut which sits in the primary cover, and there is a chain adjuster screw. So what they did, they just drilled a hole through the case, put a thread on it, and now there is a just piece of threaded rod type of thing with a lock nut, and then you undo the lock nut, and I don't even know how you're supposed to move this thing upward to adjust the chain, but you do it through, I guess, once the cover is on. So in 1970 and 1972, to adjust the chain, your primary chain, you have to take the cover off, and adjusting has nothing to do with your cover. But you have to take the cover off, replace the seals, blah blah blah, and all that. Now, I think what they've done is that you just take the cover off, little hole, put your finger through and feel for the chain, and then you adjust this little nut on the bottom, and if you feel the chain tightened up through the hole, then you're good to go. That's a mission for the later, so we figured it out, and yes, that makes sense that now the chain tensioner spring holds it against the adjuster screw, you know. So we have our answer, that makes sense. We'll just adjust it when it comes to it. So learning, we are learning. I'm looking around at this is where our Kickstarter goes, and it has been bunged off, so I don't know if this is pressed in. Maybe we'll have to heat up the case and then press this little bung out, because there is a, looks like a nut on the other side, so maybe it's just a cover I'll do under this bolt, and now we'll have a hole to put the kick shaft through that. Well, little break from engine, and we're gonna fix the last hole. This one is the biggest one. Look at the gape of that. So there is no way I can fill this. I'm just cleaning it all up, and I made myself a little piece of metal which will go underneath that. Hopefully something like that. I think that is very ambitious. I have no skills for this, and it's just not gonna work to put the metal underneath, hold it with magnet and trying to weld it. The rusted part of the metal is so frail, it just burns out, which is not really a problem, but I have no tension, no way to hold the metal on the inside without flopping, and as soon as you put a bit of welding wire in, it just skips in and disappears. Gonna turn the gas off, prepped area, and just weld it from the outside. Did I mention before that I do actually love welding? The TIG is beautiful. I love the precision, how you can melt the pool, the metal, have a weld pool, and you slowly work with it and control it. But welding sheet metal, body panels, it's such an ass. And doing it upside down, it's, man, mission. I had a bit of a moment there. But this is where we are. I don't know if you remember those big holes there I welded in. It's not very pretty, but I don't know, you can see it's like 4 millimeters of the bog around, so that's gonna hide, but at least there is a patch now, and it's metal. It's not gonna fall out, hopefully. Time to take off the transmission. So we have 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. They all come out, and then none of these we should be able to do anything, and then we just tap it with a hammer on the other side and pull everything out this way. Get a rubber mallet and we tap the transmission from the other side, just like so, and you can see the whole cover, whole base, the cover plate coming out, because the whole transmission actually is mounted on this plate. The trouble is that there is a open bearing on this side with 23 rollers, so all those little roller bearings gonna fall out, and we have to rescue them and bag them up. Oh look, there is a little spacer, didn't even know. Pull out the transmission out, and oh, it looks like the countershaft stayed inside the case, so I'm gonna put the camera down and gently pull everything out. Where did that come from? We have shims and another shim. Oh well, I'll figure it out. Couldn't this come with us? Obviously not. 2 shims underneath, remember that. I'll go there, and I'm just gonna, this is our shifter. Oh, I'm gonna drain the oil from the inside, give it a clean up, and yeah, the bearing is actually still in there, so we're good. And here is our assembled transmission. all put together. I just give it a little clean. I think it all works. I just checked it. I hope I put the spacers in the right places. Well, when we install it, we'll find out very quickly whether it's working or not. And I clean up the base, and as I realized with the bearing, the rollers are actually placed in a little cage, so they are not falling out. It's a head time! Taking the heads off, so we'll take the brace out, take this little bugger off, undo all the bolts, and then pull the heads off. Young fella, my helper, my nephew, he's gone, so I'm back to it myself. I have just cleaned up the oil pump, took it all apart, give it a clean, put it back in there. No need to faff about with that. I'm just gonna take all these bolts out. Can't forget the Allen bolt here, 3 bolts there, we have couple on the other side. Take all this stuff, and then we taking the cases apart. All bolts should be gone out. I have even researched, and I don't even have to take these out. It would come all the way through. The driver for the pump, it's actually small enough to slip through the hole. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a crack and stop saying that! I'm gonna try and gently pry the halves open. No cracks, no splits, no hammering, just gently. Gently, gently, gently. Tap, 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 tap. Don't wanna break anything, that would suck. Well, and there you have it. Engine split in half. You have your flywheel with pistons sticking out still. I'm not taking those off. We have the right side case with the drive, the transmission. What I have to do now is to clean up everything, take all of this goo and gunk away. Make sure it's clean, polished, tidied, and then we put a new gasket. Usually you don't have a gasket for this, so you just use one of those RTD, whatever it's called, the silicone stuff. So we'll put that on, and then we replace the bracket. All of this was because of this silly little bracket, but you can see both ends, one is broken there and broken there, so I'm gonna put a new one in. And it's so porous and soaked in oil. Later on I might have a little try. I'm gonna grind all of this off, and I'm going to see if I can weld all that back together. I don't have this chunk, but I tried to build up all that aluminium back and then drill a hole and see. Just a little practice, really, to be honest, if you can save bits like this, because I know you can weld all of this. You can see how much welding has been done. Yeah, this is how you split engine in half. I'm not going to press the flywheel out, I don't need to do that. So that can just sit there. Just gonna cover it up so the birds don't shit in there. And yeah, so there you have it. I'm gonna call it quits with this video. You know, if you ever want to take Ironhead engine apart, this is how you do it. And next thing will be putting everything together. I'm not gonna film cleaning it up, I'm just gonna have fun with it. Make sure it's all and neat. Anyway, This is a how-to video, maybe? I don't know if you have shitloads of Ironheads out there and you guys working on it, but I guess that would be same for lots of different bikes. Thank you for watching. This might have been a long one, but hey, thank you for watching. I see you next Friday. Behave at least a little bit and enjoy the weather. Freaking boiling here, so go riding, have fun, and work on your bike. Ta-da!